Art means everything to me because art is everything to me. It helps cover the spread every month as far as pay bills, but from a mental, emotional, social standpoint, it's the lot of how I deal with things. Hello, my name is Contreras, and this is my art studio and art. I got started painting about 6, almost 7 years ago, sort of out of practice, like just out of playing around in my garage at the time. Was going through a lot, had just had a child. My life changed. I was a poet and performer before my baby girl was born, and there was no time to be on a stage and on a microphone and in a coffee shop or a bar anymore. And very much my artwork transitioned physically and then by way of medium. So I went from writing my thoughts down on paper to playing with words on canvas and on plexiglass and on nearly any surface I could put them on. Right here is a piece called Seeing Things. It's actually 2/3 of it, but all it literally is the alphabet. So it's the alphabet over and over in my signature hand style or script. My journey with art began with words and with letters, and I used to write down letters before I could spell, rather. This one is called Let Me Get This Clear. Obviously it's in no way clear at all, and it's really playing with this idea of like the black and white of life, right? Like things are either right or wrong, or they're simple or not, and they're usually like, we like things to be in straight lines. We like things to have a beginning and an end. We like things to like fall and rise naturally instead of being sort of the mixed up mess that this sort of thing represents. And so nothing in my artistic life, personal life, professional life really ever seems very clear, and this is sort of like a take on that reality, and I think people can relate to that. Everything has a meaning and a story, but every piece of work is very abstract. A bit of a departure for me from what I would normally do. It's called Reach. Originally it was something that was a bit of a collaboration, so there's a whole other painting underneath this painting, believe it or not. That was the last remaining piece of a collaborative series with an artist I no longer work with. And so it just like made sense to like get outside of my comfort zone, to do something that's got some, like, I don't know, a different kind of life to it. Not the same shape, certainly not the same process, and aimed to work with some of like the imagery that's underneath it. And so Reach is just really about that, like stretching, right? Like when things are uncomfortable, when things don't make sense, when something seems difficult, sort of getting beyond that, reaching beyond that and trying to figure it out. And so that is the embodiment of this piece and the aim of where it wanted to end up, and I think ultimately I guess where it got. I would say my art is important because my art feeds me and my child. It saved my life. It put a roof over our head. Somewhat of just about short of 4 years ago, went through some life changes. I had to figure out how to make up the difference. Like I only made so much money, and I took that like garage painting hustle into the like literal living room of my studio apartment. And what hustle was born to make sure a 3-year-old ate. She's 6 now, and so art means everything to me. It's my network of friends. It's therapy. It's sort of a safe space in the sense of like, if I'm not feeling right, I come here. When I'm feeling great, I come here. When I need to feel a certain kind of way, I come here. And so art for me is a way of life. Art on the Rio, which is the collective that operates partially out of here, the Artist Factory, is a project. This effort, though, has really sort of spoke to the need and reality that, like, if not us, then who, in terms of creating collective space. And I'm not saying there aren't galleries and working spaces in Albuquerque. I just wanted to do things a little bit different. The city of Albuquerque and the UETF funding really just helped catalyze growth for what we're calling Art on the Rio. Over the course of this grant timeline, we're putting painters out into public space at events who are getting paid just to show up and paint. They're not having to sell their paintings. They're not having to auction them off, which I've done before for people. It's not commission work, or maybe it is that they're working on, but they don't have to finish it while they're at the event. They're simply being given an opportunity to market their work, their ability, their skill set, to sort of engage with the public, if you will, and then getting paid for it. UETF funding has also lent to the idea that, and the possibility and reality that artists in Albuquerque, whether they're painters, right? We have 3 visual artists here right now, or 4, I should say. But we have a used book sales person, and we have a tailor/seamstress in the building here at the Artist Factory. So UETF funding has allowed for the Artist Factory to provide a low barrier of access for artists looking for space to create. It's huge to receive funding from the city, because it shows folks that look like me, that may be younger or older than me, that I either grew up with and know or don't, that your city cares, that there are resources out there, that there are opportunities to take advantage of. And I certainly know I couldn't do even half of what I do here in Albuquerque to pay my bills anywhere else.